All right, in this video, I want to lay out in the broadest of strokes the idea behind the Deplorables expansion, a general overview of the gameplay, and not go down too many rabbit holes. The name of the expansion was chosen quite deliberately. Deplorables is a parody or a pastiche of what the mainstream media's idea of a conservative is, right? Which is part school shooter, part computer criminal, and part Christian conservative. So if you look at this thing and say, hey, is this supposed to represent the conservatives? I don't identify with any of these things. That's very much intentional. Don't be offended. It's a joke. It's a meta joke, I guess. Basically, you're a Christian conservative computer criminal school shooter who is probably financed by Russia and may not even be real. That's who you're playing as here. So gameplay-wise, as you know, if you have played Virtue Signal, the base game, as a SJW, your goal is very simple. You have the reptile brain. You just want to gather followers. You want influence over people, okay? And so the first 1 to 15 is the winner. As a troll, your goals are somewhat different and much more complicated, and they are harder, okay? We designed it so that winning as a deplorable character is difficult but possible, and it is not balanced in the least. It is going to be very hard, and it will take a lot of practice to win as the deplorable character. It took me a long time, and I designed the freaking thing. All right, let's talk for a minute about gameplay. The deplorable player is an entirely different kind of player. They have their own character cards. There are 8 of them. They have their own followers, which are called raiders. They have their own deck right here, and they have entirely different objectives. The objective to win as a deplorable character is to take 15 points worth of trophies. Well, what does that mean? That means you have to take 15 points worth of these NPCs. Well, how do you do that? These are from the other deck, and you don't get to touch them directly. Good question. This is a 3-stage process, generally, which I'll run through extremely quickly, and then look at all the parts in detail. Basically, you will have your hand of cards, follower cards, special cards, etc. First of all, you will play the cards to your spawning pool, like this, just like a regular player, okay? And that counts as a move. That's stage 1. On a subsequent move, you can move these to the coalition of another player. And you can do this pretty much freely. You can, this always counts as a move. You can move it to another guy, or you can move him to another guy. You can move into a different position like this. They're extremely mobile. That's one of their advantages. Okay, so that's stage 1. And let's make a couple of moves here. Boom, boom. And I want you to notice this. These little skull and crossbones things here, these are their toxicity level. These are not scoring points. What they are a kind of spendable currency. They simulate when enough internet trolls accumulate in your little garden of a coalition here, you are able to do increasingly nasty things to them. Okay, so that's stage 2, moving your guys out. I should also mention that it's very difficult to kill these guys. It's easy to get rid of them, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But they're very difficult to kill. So while your build-up as the deplorable player will be slow, right? Once you're built up, it's very hard to knock you back down. So it's kind of like a running timer. The deplorable player just gradually accumulates power over time until he wins. So there is a lot of pressure on everybody else to get to 15 as soon as possible before defense here can do something extremely nasty. Okay, so what have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points of toxicity against Miss Problem Glasses, which gives me the ability to play Jar of Solitude. All right, there are several of these. I'll go over each of the specials in detail at a later time. I think they're all unique. And this is and this is the point cost right here. And that means 6 points of toxicity. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points on this in this coalition, I can play this against her. And what this does is kill, or I would want this one actually, because it's the higher points. So I can take this one. I now have 2 points in my trophy pile. When this gets to 15, I am the winner. This goes to discard, and then these guys, they have been spent. So I move them back. I can move them back all at once, like this. As soon as I spend them, I can take them all back. Let's talk about the spawning pool, and let's talk about raiders. This area here directly connected to your character card. This is your spawning pool. Raiders we played here before they are moved other places. Okay, this is your deep web, far right, horrible, disgusting neo-Nazi hideout where nobody dares come. This is the Donald. This is Parler. This is Gab. This is 4chan. This is wherever. Right here, you are, for all intents and purposes, invulnerable. All raiders we have to play here before they move to other places, and after they have done things, bad things, they will come back here. They will also come back here if they are policed, which I'll get to in just a second. Raiders, okay, they come in 3 different levels, 1, 2, and 3. Like I said before, these are not points. These are toxicity levels. They are spendable. They are spendable points. Some cards, the lowest one costs 6 points, and there are some. Let me see if I can find it. Dork Harvest costs 12 points, and there we go. The top one, False Flag, costs 15 points. The higher the point value, the more powerful the effect. This is a special plot, which is unique. This is the only special plot in the game. And we'll cover all these in one by one in a later video. Playing a card, playing a raider to your spawning pool, this counts as a turn. On subsequent turns, you may move them out into other players' coalitions. This counts as a turn also. Usually this process is very slow, but it can be very fast. And I'll show you a couple that will make it very fast. There's Fly My Pretties. Boom, 1 turn, you move all these out. There are a few of these, and they will come up a couple times per game. Like sometimes they come up and sometimes they don't. And there's also Streisand Effect, which, as the name implies, if the SJW takes aggressive action against your raiders, you can deploy all of your raiders against them. And going the other way, what if I'm playing Miss Problem Glasses? How do I get rid of these guys? As of this expansion, that is one thing a Virtue Signal card can do. They match the alignment. You play a Virtue Signal card against the raider, and it sends him back. It doesn't kill him. It doesn't disable him. It sends him back. He can be redeployed the very next move. And that is why we have the 5th alignment here. Obviously, there are no Virtue Signal cards that are black. So level 3 guy can never be Virtue Signaled away. A couple more notes about raider placement and toxicity. Here I have an imaginary 3-player game. The Asian Riot Girl and Miss Problem Glasses are not doing very well. They don't seem to have any guys placed. But I, Mr. Trenchcoat Mafia, am doing extremely well. I have played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's see, 6, 8 points here, and 4 points here, and I've got 1 point here. Can I play Self-Immolation? Okay, which costs 6 points. All right. And the answer is, well, what is my toxicity level, right? They are character specific. You may play Self-Immolation, but you may only play him against her. So that costs 6 points. Sadly, she doesn't have an NPC. So let's give her one. I play Self-Immolation. I bring these guys back home. I discard this, and this goes in my trophy pile. Supposing, for whatever reason, you get stuck like this. You get stuck. He's stuck now. He cannot move without breaking a chain. You can move this guy away. You can move this guy away freely. The health and safety quadrangle, we'll talk about that later. But he's stuck. So what do? Does he count? Yes, he does. But after you've used him, he doesn't move back. So that might be good for you. It might be bad. If you want to get him back home, we have a card for that. The Killdozer Rampage. And the Killdozer Rampage works specifically against raiders who have had their driveways blocked. And what this will do here is it will destroy him. Sadly, he has to die. He has to die. But then everything that every card that is orphaned by this action goes into your pile. And that is the end of that. I hope that's clear enough. In the next video, we'll cover all the different special cards, and there's a bunch.